Taylor Kraft, the catcher, to follow. The right fielder, Nani Valencia, will bat third. Third baseman, Kayla Chavez, batting cleanup. Batting fifth, left fielder Jay Cosgriff. Batting sixth, second baseman Maggie Werner. The pitcher, Cindy Schwartz, will hit for herself, batting seventh. Cameron Chard, the DP, batting eighth. Batting ninth, the center fielder Breezy Burnett. That misses. And it's 3-2. Payoff pitch. Fly ball left side, foul. Another payoff pitch. Chopped up the third base side, and it goes by off of Maloalu, the third baseman. And Minnesota has the leadoff batter aboard on a single. Defense for Duke. Burgess in left, Jennings in center, Thomas in right. Third baseman Malaulu. Shortstop Gold, Vega at second, Baker at first, Rodriguez the catcher again. Swing and a miss by Taylor Kraft, the Minnesota catcher. Kraft is hitting .242. 2 homers, 7 RBI. Had a home run yesterday against Missouri. Minnesota defeating the 22nd ranked team of the country, Missouri, yesterday, 3-1. And also started the day with a 7-6 win over Fresno State. Kraft wears that one. It'll be first and second now for Minnesota. Trojmuller with the win earlier today, 3-1 on the season, ERA at 2.71. Early trouble, though, first and second for Minnesota. Nani Valencia, the senior from Georgetown, Kentucky, will stand in. She had a home run in yesterday's action as well. Hit it against Fresno State, her second of the year. Hitting .500, 18 for 36. 2 home runs, 5 RBI. Strike one from Trojmuller. Minnesota 4-7 on the year, but mentioned off to a 2-0 start in Cathedral City. Inside and high, 1 ball, 1 strike to Valencia. Minnesota had a winning season in the Big Ten last year, 28-25 overall, 13-10 in conference play. Went 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament. Popped up. And the infield, it's Anna Gold. The shortstop will make the catch. Of course, with the infield fly rule in effect as well. That's the first out. They'll bring in the third baseman, Kayla Chavez. Senior from Chino Hills, California. .278 this season with a double and 2 RBI. One of those runs batted in coming in against Fresno State yesterday, in which she went 2 for 4. It was 3 for 5 overall on the day, with a walk as well. Minnesota in their 2 wins yesterday totaled 10 runs with 13 hits. 7-6 over Fresno State, 3-1 defeating Missouri. Inside out the other way, first baseman Baker snags it, tags the bag to get the force out there. Runners move up to second and third. Good play by Baker at first base on the hot shot. So Minnesota will have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs, and Jay Cosgriff will come up. Left fielder for the Gophers. True freshman from Livermore, California. 4 for 18. Inside and high. 0 for 6 across the 2 games yesterday. Did score 2 runs. Was walked once. Takes that also for ball 2. And timeout for the Blue Devils. Minnesota coached by Piper Ritter, a Minnesota graduate, 5th year as the Golden Gopher head coach, 128 wins, 588 winning percentage. Jack swinging the ball low. Three balls and no strikes to Cosgriff. Rosemuller threw 98 pitches in the game today against BYU. Delivers a strike there, 3-1. Pitched into the 7th inning with a 1-0 lead that Duke got in the bottom of the 1st inning. First 2 Cougars reached, which gave way to Cassidy Curd, who picked up the save, getting the final 3 outs. Count full. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. A hit and a hit by pitch in the inning. And now a walk. And the bases will be loaded for Maggie Werner. Rosemuller only walked 1 over her 6+ against BYU. In will step to second baseman Werner, junior from Greenville, Wisconsin. 2 for 6 yesterday, a hit in each game against Fresno State and Missouri. 4 for 11 on the season. Strike delivered from Rosemuller. Minnesota, a golden opportunity in this 1st inning to jump on Duke early. Check swing roller, that'll be foul. Minnesota's averaging fewer than 4 runs a game. .269 team batting average. No balls and 2 strikes the count. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. That's high, 1-2. Tobias led off the game with a single. Kraft was hit by a pitch, a pop out and a ground out. Followed in the walk to Cosgriff. Bases loaded, 1 ball, 2 strike count to Werner. Now 2-2. Ground ball, left side. Shortstop Gold will go to 3rd, flipping it there to retire the side. So Minnesota will leave the bases loaded after a half inning of play. Minnesota 0, Duke coming up here on Flo College. Bottom of the 1st inning, Minnesota had the bases loaded but do not score. And into the circle for Minnesota is Sydney Schwartz. As she will get the start in this one, taking on the Blue Devils. Schwartz pitched in both games yesterday. Once as a starter, once in relief. In the start against Fresno State, 6 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout, and then getting the save against Missouri, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And she throws strike 1 to Deanna Jennings, who leads off for the Blue Devils. Jennings will stroke it into left field and coming on to make the play. Left fielder Cosgriff. Cosgriff in left, Burnett in center, Valencia in right field for Minnesota. Chavez at third, Tobias at shorts, Werner at second base, Chard at first base, and Kraft is behind home plate for Schwartz. So a line out to left field by Jennings, and here's Anna Gold, who scored the only Duke run and all they needed in the 1-0 win over BYU. Reached base on a double, 1 for 3 in the game, swing and a miss. Yeah, the count 1-1. Gold hitting at .375 on the year. 2 home runs and 14 runs batted in. He fouled. Deanna Jennings lead off the center fielder. Shortstop Anna Gold batting here second. Amina Vega, the second baseman, batting third. Kyrie Rodriguez, the catcher, is the cleanup hitter. Amaya Burgess playing left field, batting fifth. Brooklyn Thomas, the right fielder, batting sixth. Batting seventh is the first baseman, Jada Baker. Lynn Lee starting as the DP, batting eighth. And batting ninth is Tessa Malaulu, third baseman. And Gold down on strikes, swings and misses. First strikeout for Schwartz. 2 down here in the first inning. So 2 outs, nobody on for Amina Vega, who drove in that lone Duke run against the Cougars. Strike 1 from Schwartz. Vega 2 for 3 in the game with a run batted in. She's 4 for 10 now at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic in Duke's 3-0 start. Takes that low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Vega hitting .523. He's racked up 8 doubles, which around the top 10 in the country in doubles per game. 1 home run and now 19 RBI. Up and in, 2 balls and a strike. The count to Vega. First team All-ACC last year and Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. 2-1. Low. Check swing. Appeal. Don't know what the decision was. I couldn't tell by the reaction of the crowd, but now I can tell. 3-1, no swing. Vega lifts it, center field, going back. Burnett will make the catch on the run and then hits the fence. And that retires the side. Amina Vega puts a charge into it, but the Blue Devils go down 1-2-3 in the first inning. No score after 1 on Flo College.
Real bad on the prowl. Yeah, I'm fed up, so shut up, don't need your opinion. Get up, I need your attention. Where my baddies at?
Back on Flo College, no score into the top of the second inning. Sydney Schwartz will lead off for the Gophers after having a 1-2-3 inning in the circle in the bottom of the first inning. Be followed by Cameron Chard and Breezy Burnett in the lineup. Schwartz will take strike one. Now no balls and two strikes. Schwartz is 7 for 33 at the plate on the year, 0 for 6 yesterday with a walk. One, two, will line it foul off the right side. Low it in. And that misses high, so the count runs full. Drogemuller leading, Schwartz leading off against Drogemuller here in the top of the second inning. Minnesota had the bases loaded in the first and single, a hit by pitch and a walk, and could not score. Schwartz hits it sharply to second base. Vega makes the play. And we'll step Cameron Chard, the DP for Minnesota. And she'll ground it right side. Vega again. 2 down. So we'll see the ninth place hitter, Breezy Burnett, coming up, the center fielder. Burnett checks a swing at the first pitch inside, ball one. Burnett hitting .212 on the year, grounds at the shortstop. Anna Gold makes the play, and 3 groundouts in the inning, and it's 1-2-3 for Drogemuller in the circle. We head to the home half of the second. No score, Minnesota and Duke. All right, we're back here. Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, no score. And the bottom of the second upcoming. Sydney Schwartz set down Duke in order. In the top of the first inning, we'll face Rodriguez, Burgess, and Thomas here in this bottom of the second. Called strike one to Kyrie Rodriguez. That's outside. Rodriguez in the game earlier. 0 for 2 with a walk against BYU. Swing and a miss at the off speed. 0 and 2. For Schwartz. The right side and foul down the first base line. Ground ball to second base and throw on to first. Not in time. Reaching is Burgess on an infield single. Apologize for any technical difficulties right now. I'm looking at the live stream here, and it's showing that the event has not started yet, so I'm not sure if anybody is tuned in right now. But you haven't missed much if you just were able to tune in. Bottom of the second, 0-0. And Burgess just reached on an infield single for Duke. And now here's Brooklyn Thomas. Thomas takes it in the dirt. Runner on at first is Burgess. Thomas, the shortstop. Excuse me, the right fielder. And strike two on the batter. Thomas was 0 for 3 against BYU. 0 for 8 at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Hits it hard and foul down the left side. Schwartz set down the Blue Devils 1-2-3 in the first inning. Hit hard, but foul again down the first base side. On deck is Jada Baker. Ground ball softly to second. Werner flips it on to first. Gets Thomas there 4-3. Up to second base goes Burgess. 2 down. High ball 1 to Baker, first baseman for the Blue Devils. 0 for 3 against BYU, 1 for 7 at the events. Ground ball up the middle and into center field. A base hit. Burgess was going to score. Coming on hard was Burnett. Not sure if you're going to end up having a play or not at the plate. Would have been obviously very close. Burgess will score. And Baker checks in with, at least in my scoring decision, an RBI single. And it's 1-0. That is the official scorer's decision as well. So Baker the RBI, and Duke has a 1-0 lead. Their third run batted in on the year. And now Lin Lee stands in. Lee, the DP, got one at bat in the BYU game as a pinch hitter. Did not reach. That's a called strike. Sophomore is 5 for 14 on the year. Takes that for a strike. RBI single a moment ago by Jada Baker. Gets underneath it, golfs it, center field. Caught by Burnett to retire the side. Duke gets on the board, though. 2-out RBI single by Jada Baker. This game heads to the third inning with Duke on top of Minnesota, 1-0. Margaret Tobias leading off for Minnesota here in the third inning. 1-0 Duke on a Jada Baker 2-out single. In the bottom of the second inning, Tobias singled her first time, leading off the ball game. In fact, Minnesota had bases loaded in the first inning, but did not score. Went down 1-2-3 in the second inning. Minnesota, they'll play Tennessee coming up next. Duke will finish up tomorrow with the game against number 4 UCLA. Tobias takes it low. Trojmuller delivers the pitch. Grounded to short. Gold playing in. Makes the play onto first base. It's 4 straight groundouts. In fact, actually 5 straight groundouts. And every out has been on the ground except for a pop-up in the infield by Valencia in the first inning. She's going to be on deck. Taylor Kraft, the batter. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Low for ball 1. Now low and in, 2-0. Kraft will hit it hard, but foul. And a 2-2 count now. Top of the third. And that's called a strike. 3-2 now to Kraft. On the ground, left side. Foul. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kraft, inside out swing roller to second. And Vega the play. So that's 6 straight outs on the ground. And 7 of 8 outs in the game for Trojmuller have been ground ball outs. 2 outs, nobody on for Nani Valencia. Popped out in the infield. The only one that was not on the ground. And first pitch strike fired in by Trojmuller. This ball's hit in the air to left field, and that is fair down the line for Valencia. And she'll have a 2-out single. So, the Gophers have their second hit of the game. And a runner on for Kayla Chavez, who grounded out to first base her first time. One of 4 games going on right now at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Oregon State's playing Long Beach State. Utah taking on Cal State Fullerton right now. And Cal State Northridge and Nevada also in action. You can actually watch all 4 games at once on FloCollege.com. High fly ball in the infield. And caught by the first baseman, Baker. That retires the side. Minnesota gets a 2-out single, but the runner is stranded after 2.5. It remains Duke 1, Minnesota nothing here on Flo College. Bottom of the third, Duke leading 1-0. They have 9-1 and 2 due up against Sydney Schwartz. First pitch to Tessa Malaulu. The third baseman for the Blue Devils is fouled off. Malaulu against BYU was 0 for 2. She's 2 for 8 at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic with a triple, 4 RBI. That all happened, the triple and 4 RBI yesterday against Howard. Schwartz with the strike, and it's 0-2. Duke scored last inning, got a 1-out infield single by Amaya Burgess. She scored 2 batters later after she moved up to second on a ground out, moved up to the plate and scored on the Jada Baker single up the middle. Round ball up the middle. The glove of Schwartz grabs it to retire Malaulu. So the leadoff batter has been retired by Schwartz each of the first 3 innings. Top of the order now for the Blue Devils. Each team with 2 hits. Neither team has an error. Minnesota's left 4 on base, including bases loaded in the first inning. Deanna Jennings, the batter for Duke, lined out to left field in the first inning. Will chop it third base side. Across the diamond, the throw. Nicely done to get Jennings at first base. So a quick 2 outs. That's Kayla Chavez with a nice play at third base. Quick 2 outs, and Schwartz will look for her second clean inning out of 3. We'll have to face off with Anna Gold, who struck out swinging in the first inning. And Gold will take strike 1. Schwartz making her 3rd appearance in as many games for Minnesota in Cathedral City. Started and got the win against Fresno State. As that goes off of Schwartz, she'll pick it up and get the out. So a pair of 1-3 outs in the inning and a ground out to third. Very quick. Bottom of the third for Minnesota in the field. They come back up to the plate, trailing 1-0 after 3 on Flo College. Scott Sudikoff back with you. Top of the fourth inning. Duke 1, Minnesota nothing. Golden Gophers will have Jay Cosgriff, Maggie Werner, and Sidney Schwartz. 2 up against Danny Drogemuller, who has already now thrown 9 innings today in consecutive games. 6-inning victory against BYU. Gave way after 2 batters in the 7th inning. And Cassidy Curd came on and got the save. And now through 3 innings against Minnesota, 2 hits allowed. Has hit a batter, but nothing across the board for Minnesota. They left the bases loaded in the first inning. She also walked 1 that inning. Cosgriff was that walk. And she leads off in the 4th with a .222 batting average. That's strike 1. Cosgrave now 0 for 6 in Cathedral City with a couple of walks. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Both teams undefeated so far in this event. Duke 3-0, Minnesota 2-0. Inside low, 3 balls and a strike. Cosgriff. Minnesota picked up wins yesterday over Fresno State 7-6 and over 22nd ranked Missouri 3-1. 4-7 their overall record. Cosgriff gets underneath, lifts it to deep left field, but playable for Burgess. One out, nobody on. We'll see Maggie Werner step in, hit into a fielder's choice that ended the first inning for Minnesota. Now 2 for 7 in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. 4 for 12 overall on the year. Strike 1 from Drogemuller. Duke will play UCLA tomorrow in their final game of the event. In the opposite way, and down in front of Thomas, the right fielder. And Werner has Minnesota's 3rd hit. I mentioned Minnesota will play Tennessee coming up in their next game today, and then they'll finish out tomorrow with a game against Long Beach State. That's in there for strike 1 to the pitcher, Sidney Schwartz, who grounded out to second base in her first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Schwartz trying to give that one a ride. Swings and misses. And that's fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Werner after her 1-out single. High in ball 1. And another foul ball off the bat of Schwartz. Junior from Victoria, Minnesota. It's making her 9th appearance in the circle today on the year. Another 1-2 pitch outside and low. 2-2. pop up. This looks like it'll be playable. It will be. Third baseman coming down the line to make the catch. Tessa Malaulu for out number 2. So it'll be up to Cameron Chard now here in the 4th inning for Minnesota. Trailing 1-0. Chard grounded out the second. Her first time up. Hits it on a slow roll with some weird spin on it, but Vega makes the play to retire the side. And so the 1-out single. Werner left stranded. We've played 3.5. Duke still on top of Minnesota. 1-0. Time for the bottom of the 4th inning. Amina Vega leads off for the Blue Devils, who've gone down in order in 2 of the 3 innings. But in the 2nd inning, scored a run on 2 hits. Jada Baker had the 2-out run-scoring single. Vega flied out to center her first time. Takes ball 1 low and away in the dirt. From Sydney Schwartz, who threw the 3 innings. The 1 run on 2 hits. 1 strikeout. And that's all. Rodriguez and Burgess to follow for Duke. As that misses as well, 2-0. Vega right now one of the most prolific in the country and driving in runs and doubles and just hits in general. Top 10 and all that I just mentioned. Ground ball to the right side and through between the first baseman Chard and the second baseman Werner for a leadoff hit for Amina Vega. So Vega 1 for 2 in this game. 3 for 5 on the day. 5 for 12 in the event in total in 4 games. Rodriguez looking to bunt. It skips away, and that will allow Vega to move up on a wild pitch. So Duke would like to score more than 1 run. They beat BYU 1-0. Beat Nebraska last night in 8 innings, 3-0. Of course, those runs not coming until the 8th inning. And then defeated Howard 13-1. Rodriguez now thinking about bunting Vega over to third. Pulls it back. And the count is 2-0. Rodriguez struck out looking her first time. .310 batting average on the year. Gets the bunt down on the 2-0, but foul. 2-1. And Schwartz is now able to work back to a 2-2 count. With that strike thrown in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rodriguez down on strikes. Important strikeout there for Schwartz, keeping now Vega at second base for the time being. Third strikeout. One out for Amaya Burgess. Burgess, high ball one. Burgess scored the Duke run in the second inning after she reached on an infield single, moved up on a ground out to second, and then scored on the Baker single. That's a strike, 1-1. Pop up behind home plate. Kraft will give it a look, but no play to make. It's cut on and fouled. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second is Vega. And looped and caught at second. Throw to second base. And safe there. Caught by Werner. Trying to double up Vega, but Vega gets back in safely. 2 down. In steps Brooklyn Thomas. Grounded out to second. 0 for 1 in the game. Schwartz trying to leave Vega stranded after her leadoff single. Moved up on a wild pitch. Kyrie Rodriguez is looking to bunt her over to third, but eventually struck out. And just had the Burgess line out to second. That's low to Thomas. Two balls and no strikes. Outside and high, 3-0. The catcher Kraft will go talk to Schwartz. There's a strike thrown on the 3-0 delivery. Three balls, 1 strike. Teams now each have 3 hits in the game. Ground ball, diving play. The shortstop Tobias to first in time. And that retires the side. 1 hit in the inning. Runner left stranded. After 4, 1-0 Duke. We roll into the 5th inning. 1-0 Duke. Terrific play by the shortstop, Margaret Tobias, to save a run from being scored. Diving play up the middle. Got the out at first base as well. And now Breezy Burnett leads off for Minnesota against Danny Trojmuller. He's allowed 3 singles in this game, with 1 walk and 1 hit batter. Minnesota had them loaded in the 1st inning, and left a runner aboard at first base each of the last 2 innings. Burnett grounded out the shortstop for first time. Pops the next pitch back behind home plate. Top of the order on deck, Tobias, then Kraft. That misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Gold ranges over. Strong throw to first in time to retire Burnett 6-3. Leadoff batter retired for the 4th straight inning. Trojmuller in the circle. Top of the order, Margaret Tobias singled in the 1st inning. Grounded out the shortstop in the 3rd. Stabs at it, strike 1, missing the bunt. Holds up that swing, but it's a called strike. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Close, but ball 1. Fouled off the catcher Rodriguez. Remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kraft on deck. Anybody reaches. Natty Valencia gets a chance in the inning. Trojmuller for the day now is 4 1/3 in this game, 10 1/3 over the course of the 2 games today for Duke. Another foul. She did not pitch yesterday. And that's outside. 2-2. So she was rested and ready to go for today's action. She had last pitched on February the 14th at Florida, 2/3 of an inning. And earlier that day as well, 5 innings against Boston College. But again, did not pitch yesterday in the 2 games that Duke played. And now has been the ace in the circle today. Slow roller, sidearm throw by Vega. 2nd out. Tobias retired 4-3. Two outs, nobody on for Taylor Kraft. He's been hit by a pitch and grounded out to 2nd. And something that I failed to mention so far in this game, a former Duke Blue Devil. Played at Duke in 2022. And then transferred to Minnesota, where in 2023 she was a 3rd-team All-American, 1st-team All-Big Ten last year. Taking on her former squad from Oviedo, Florida. a senior from Minnesota. Of course, Duke has a Minnesota transfer on their roster out of the lineup, Jessica Oakland. Played the last 2 years at Minnesota. Great success as the Big Ten Player of the Year last year, but is not yet suited up for Duke this season. So we have that cross current between these two programs. Two outs in the inning, nobody on. Kraft, and tracked down by Vega. 1-2-3 go the Gophers in the 5th inning. Second 1-2-3 inning of the game for Drojmuller. This game moves into the home half of the 5th with Duke still on top, 1-0. Baker, Lee, and Malaulu due up for Duke here. 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. Baker's driven in the only run of the game with a single back in the 2nd inning off of Sidney Schwartz, who delivers the pitch. High and away, ball 1. Baker was her 3rd RBI of the year. Her 2nd hit at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Will hit it sharply, but foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one got away from Schwartz a bit. That one in the dirt. Each team with 3 hits in the game. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. So Jada Baker. Delivery and the grounder to 3rd. There is Chavez. Plenty of time to retire Baker. One out for Lynn Lee. Flied out to center fielder first time. 0 for 2 overall in the day, and 0 for 1 in a pinch hitting role against BYU. Takes ball 1 low. That's in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. He is 5 for 15 on the season. Ground ball up the middle into center field, base hit. 4th hit for Duke. They've all been singles. And have a 1-out runner aboard. Tessa Malaulu, the batter due. Runner at first. 1 out, bottom 5. Strike 1 from Schwartz. Malaulu grounded back to Schwartz in the 3rd inning. That's outside. Ground ball right side and by the glove of Werner into right field. And in the 3rd base and out at 3rd is the pinch runner, Gabriella Mike. And she's out at 3rd for the 2nd out of the inning. Moving up on the throw to 2nd after the single, Malaulu. And now she'll be there with 2 down. Big play in the field for Minnesota. Cut down that runner at 3rd. Lineup returns to the top of the order in Deanna Jennings. 0 for 2 with a line out to left and a ground out to 3rd. First pitch swinging, foul ball. It's 5 singles now for Duke. They've left 2 runners on base so far in the game. Could be a 2nd runner left in scoring position if Schwartz can work her way out here. Chopped at the plate. At 3rd base. Good block by the catcher Kraft. Keeping Malaulu at 2nd base for the time being. And keeping the at-bat going is Jennings with the foul ball. One and 2 the count. Anna Gold is on deck. Schwartz hoping to face her next inning with the bases empty. Outside and low, 2 and 2. Up and in, and that leads to a full count. From 0-2 to 3-2 in this at bat. Off the end of the bat, popped up behind home plate, and the catcher Kraft has it. And that retires the side, so Duke leaves a runner on at second base. 2 singles in the inning. The outfield assist at third base, huge for Minnesota. After 5 complete innings, it is Duke 1, Minnesota nothing here on Flo College. Top of the 6th inning, Minnesota coming to the plate, and a new pitcher in for Duke. For the second time today, over the course of the afternoon, we're seeing Cassidy Curd, who pitched 1 inning against BYU earlier, got all 3 outs, got the save, had 2 strikeouts. Her first save of the season. This will be her 9th appearance now. She started yesterday against Nebraska as well, went the full 8, got the win with no walks and 9 strikeouts. 3-0 Duke win. She comes on for Drogemuller. Another solid outing for her as a starter. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk. No strikeouts this time around after she had 7 Ks, a Duke career high for her against BYU. Ball 1 thrown to Nani Valencia, who's 1 for 2 with a pop out to short and a single in the 3rd. Duke out hitting Minnesota 5-3. Minnesota's left 5 on. Duke is left 3. Lashed down the right side by Valencia into the corner. A fair ball scooped up out of there by Thomas, and Valencia has her second hit. It's a double to lead off the top of the 6th for Minnesota. Her 5th double of the season. It's the 2nd time today Minnesota's had the leadoff batter aboard. The other time was the 1st inning when they loaded them up but could not score. Batter due up is Kayla Chavez. And you can see out at second base, Minnesota going to utilize a pinch runner here for Valencia. Coming on is Riley Gardner, a graduate student from Dyersville, Iowa. Gardner running at second base after the Valencia double. Chavez is 0 for 2 with a ground out to first and a pop out to first. Up and in, ball 1. Cassidy Curd in the circle is a junior from Port St. Lucie, Florida. First team All-ACC last year with a 13-4 record and a 1.31 ERA. Made 23 starts and 9 additional appearances in relief. Good piece from Chavez. Well, not that good. It was a big swing and a great play by Anna Gold. The swing fooled me, but it didn't fool Anna Gold. She just cuts it off and tags the bag on the way through, and that's a double play. So I'll call it an L6 unassisted double play. There for Anna Gold, and quickly 2 outs and nobody on for Jay Cosgriff. Cosgriff's 0 for 1, walked in the 1st, flied out to left in the 4th. Minnesota thought they had something going. They certainly did. Until that play up the middle. Curd nods her head in approval. Comes home and blows it by Cosgriff, 2-1. Coming up next, it'll be Minnesota and Tennessee, scheduled for an hour and 10 from now, officially. 2:30 Pacific, 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. That misses outside. Duke will play UCLA tomorrow in their final game. Now go off the right side and foul. The count is full. In the air, right field, coming on, making the catch is Thomas, and that retires the side. Leadoff double for Minnesota, but the line-out double play erases that. Bottom of the sixth coming up next. Duke 1-0 on top of Minnesota. Welcome back to the Fenway Park field. The Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Scott Sudikoff with you. Bottom of the sixth inning. And similar story as to the first game we saw today. Duke took a 1-0 lead on BYU in the first inning earlier today, and that was the final score. Duke in this game took a 1-0 lead in the second inning, and now would certainly like to add on a few heading into the seventh inning. Anna Gold will lead off, struck out in the first, grounded out back to the pitcher Schwartz in the third as Schwartz into her sixth inning of work delivers strike one. That was Schwartz's 74th pitch, 48 strikes, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Gold, double play on her own. In the top of the inning, caught a soft liner up the middle and carried her right to the second base bag to double up the runner. After Valencia had led off the inning with a double, she's been reinserted back into the game after she was pinch run for in right field. Back out there for the Golden Gophers. Gold, Vega, Rodriguez, 2, 3, and 4. The Duke lineup due. The Blue Devils look to get to a 12-3 record this season. And 4-0 heading into tomorrow's finale in Cathedral City. As Gold gave that one a ride, but well foul. Blue Devils coming off their first ever trip to the Women's College World Series last year, 52-9. The record for Duke last year. And think about that. They entered the Women's College World Series with just 7 losses on the season. And 20-4 in the ACC. Ground ball sharply, right side, but there's Werner. Makes the play. Abina Vega will come up 1 for 2 with a single in this game. She's 3 for 5 today. And 5 for 12 in this event. Low and away for ball 1. Another ball low and away, 2-0. Minnesota in the 7th is going to have 6, 7, and 8 due. Werner, Schwartz, and Chard. And Schwartz herself trying to keep it 1-0 for the deficit. Liner foul. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the ground, this time between the first baseman Chard and the second baseman Werner. And Duke racks up its 6th hit today, all singles. Against BYU, had 4 hits with 1 extra base hit. Runner on with 1 out for Kyrie Rodriguez, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Low for ball 1. Vega at first base hasn't attempted a steal this year. She's someone who's on base a lot. Top 10 in the country in hits. That's also just low, 2-0. Rodriguez hitting .302 for the year. 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 9 runs driven in. 3 balls, no strikes. Amaya Burgess on deck for Duke. Down the middle, strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Minnesota had a chance to jump out early in this game. The first 2 batters aboard in the first inning. That's going to spin fair. Schwartz will pick it up. No, she won't. It was probably still spinning as she was trying to pick it up and then couldn't grab it. That was not an easy play. They might score an error just because, in the end, if she picks that ball up and makes the throw, it's an out. But you got to imagine with the way that ball spun away from foul territory, that was still spinning as Schwartz bent over to pick it up. And obviously she had to be quick with it, couldn't take her time. Now Duke has first and second with 1 out. And the batter is Amaya Burgess. Left field, Burgess in for a hit, and it skips by Cosgriff to the wall. 1 run in. Here comes the second run. Rodriguez diving in. Out. Out at the plate, Rodriguez. Second runner now that the Minnesota outfield has been able to throw out. One time at third base, now here at the plate. Vega does score, but Rodriguez is out at the plate. Burgess will get credit for an RBI. It's 2-0 Duke. So possibly could have been more here. We'll see what happens. Swing and a miss by Brooklyn Thomas, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, 1 to second, 1 to short. So Vegas singled. Rodriguez hit one 10 feet up the first base line with funky spin that Sydney Schwartz couldn't pick up. Both were safe, first and second. Burgess just hit one that split between the left fielder and the center fielder, scoring Vega from second. Rodriguez came around to try to score, but was thrown out at the plate. And now it's 0-2. To go back to clean things up here, they ruled it an E1 for Rodriguez to reach first and second. Burgess a double to left center, and then out at the plate. On the relay was Rodriguez for the second out. Minnesota threw out a runner at third base in the fifth inning, with the second out of that inning as well. So Duke has gotten an extra run on the board, but see if Schwartz now keeps it at 2. Check swing, ball in the dirt, appeal. They say she went around, and Schwartz will get credit for the strikeout, and that will retire the side. 4th strikeout today for Schwartz. And Duke has to settle for 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error in the inning, 1 runner left in scoring position. Last chance for Minnesota, down 2-0. 7th inning is next. Duke tacks on a run, although it possibly could have been at least one more. RBI double by Amaya Burgess. Kyra Rodriguez was thrown out at the plate trying to score on that same play as well. Brooklyn Thomas struck out to end the inning, and Duke left a runner at second base. So 2-0, the Blue Devils lead. And for the second time today, Cassidy Curd looking to earn a save. This would be a 2-inning save. We had the 1-inning save earlier against BYU. Curd came on to begin the 6th, gave up a leadoff double to Valencia, but a line-out double play up the middle on a Gold made the catch and tagged the bag at second. And then Cosgriff flat out to end the frame. Maggie Werner leading off for Minnesota. 1 for 2, had a single her last time. As Curd is trying to save it for Trojmuller for the second time today. Trojmuller, 5 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. In this matchup with Minnesota. Count now even at a ball and a strike. Sydney Schwartz is on deck. Cameron Chard to follow. Strike 2. Keeping it low on the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Werner. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 4 left for Duke. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 5 left for Minnesota. 3 of those 5 were left on in the first inning. Fighting it off is Werner. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Outside. Two balls and 2 strikes. Looper. And coming on to grab it, first baseman Baker, first out. One out, nobody on. It'll be Cindy Schwartz. First spot in the lineup here. 0 for 2 with a ground out to second, a pop out to third. Fly ball, foul. Schwartz trying to get it going here in the 7th inning. Cassidy Curd delivers. Close, but ball 2. 2-1 to Schwartz, who's hitting .200 on the year, 7 for 35. Does have a homer and 7 runs driven in. Curd trying to pick up her second save of the day. It has the count even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strike pitch. On the way to Schwartz from Curd. Up and out of the zone, 3-2. Minnesota trying to get the tying run to the plate. Payoff pitch. Grounded foul. Again, Minnesota will play right after this one. Same field, Tennessee. I'm sure is looming somewhere around the field. Lurking around a bit, getting loose. Another 3-2 to Schwartz. Ground ball up the middle, stabbed by Curd. On to first, and she bounced it in to Baker. Luckily, it took a positive hop for Curd and Baker. Curd having a chuckle about her errant throw. Now she spiked it a bit, but they get the out nonetheless. And there's 2 down, 1 out away from a 4-0. First 2 days of the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, setting up a matchup tomorrow with UCLA. Cameron Chard ran out to second both times today. And Curd looking for clarification on where that missed. Curd in the circle, Chard at the plate. Cassidy versus Cameron. The 1-0. Now 1-1. Minnesota, after they play Tennessee tonight, or depending upon what time zone you're in, mid to late afternoon. Long Beach State will be their final game tomorrow. That'll be 11:30 a.m. Central start, 9:30. Locally in Cathedral City. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cameron Chard. Has to get on here. With Minnesota down 2-0. Duke looking for their 3rd shutout in 4 games here as well, as they shut out Nebraska yesterday and shut out BYU earlier today. They only gave up 1 run to Howard as well. So just 1 run allowed by the Blue Devils in almost 4 games. 2 balls and a strike to count. Cassidy Curd. The pitch to Cameron Chard. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Cassidy Curd 1 strike away from her second save of the day, and 3 scoreless innings pitched over the day. 2-2 on the way. Liner foul outside of first. Duke got a run in the second. RBI 2-out single by Jada Baker, scoring Amaya Burgess from second. Got the insurance run on the double by Burgess in the sixth, though Burgess factoring into both runs today for the Blue Devils. And Shard swings through it, and Curd has the strikeout and her second save of the day, and the second time she saves it for Drogemuller, as they beat BYU earlier, and they beat Minnesota in this one as well. Drogemuller, the winning pitcher, no runs, 3 hits over 5 innings, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Curd with her second save, as she goes 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. And again, Burgess ends up being the star offensively. She scores the run of the second on the RBI single by Baker, and then her RBI double in